Good morning, folks. George Adventure here. Another beautiful day in Georgia. It's going to be around 70 degrees today. So sunny. My kind of weather, man. My kind of weather. I'm having me a little sip of my drink. Just to kind of wet my whistle before I get started. So, I talked about this a little bit, but so we've been cleaning my mom and daddy's house out. My daddy's in an assisted living, so we got to put it up for sale. You know, that way we ain't got to keep paying these bills and spending his money. He knows about it. So we've been cleaning it out, and we're about done. So we went over there yesterday, and there was a couple things I took, you know, home, but we found a lot of pictures, old pictures. We just put them there on the floor. We was going to go back and go through them. So we went through, and I'm gonna try to not get emotional about this, but we looked at them. We found some pictures from the 40s on up, 1940s on up to now. My grandparents, and that's a treasure to me. Old pictures of me, when I was a baby and stuff, But the ones we found, we've seen a few of them, not many, but we found a lot of military pictures. My daddy was in the Korean War, and he actually fought in the Korean War, and so they took these pictures, and when they were over there, and we found a bunch of them, and it just really got us emotional looking at them, looking at the pictures of my daddy and some of them other guys, and the artillery and just the different things the quad 50s and stuff, and my daddy was 2 years in the Army. He got drafted. So we found all that paperwork. We found all of his draft and his discharge. I got his discharge, and so we were looking at the pictures, and it was emotional. It was emotional, and seeing my daddy, hearing some of his stories. He don't talk about it a lot, but seeing the pictures, kind of puts a puzzle together of just what he's talked about. And it's pretty prideful. We just realized, what my daddy sacrificed, and really makes you proud. Really makes you proud. My daddy was he's very humble. He was a humble man growing up. And he taught us a lot of good virtues of life. Both my parents did. My daddy was married to my mama for 62 years. There never was any other one. That was it. And he was married to her for 62 years. She died of cancer, but he actually started writing to her when he was in the military, when he was stationed overseas. And his aunt lived down the road from my mama's parents, my grandparents, and they lived not too far from here, called Grove Park. It's in Atlanta. It's called Grove Park, but it was a different place back in them days. There wasn't much of nothing around, and they actually had the Chattahoochee River right there at them. You could go through the woods, and the Chattahoochee River's back there, but there was a little store right down the road, and that's my daddy's aunt and uncle owned that store. So they would write to my dad, and he they told him about my mama, so he started writing to her when he was in the Army. And when he was over in Okinawa, that's where the base was at. He talks about the Russian jets, or not the Russian, but the North Korean MiGs flying over and stuff. and him shooting at them. But I know he went through a lot over there. He talks a little bit about, he talks about blood and a lot of the way dead bodies smell. And he goes into a few little details. He doesn't talk about it much. He never has. He doesn't like to talk about it. But I think about, the honor he had and just doing that. And he got drafted. Think about what he went through, and when he came back, he one of the first things he did was my aunt introduced him to my mother, and then of course, they dated and got married and had me in 1960 and my brother 4 years later, and they raised us the right way. Yeah, they wasn't perfect. There's no perfect parent, but they raised us the right way. My daddy, very honest and he gave us those virtues, taught us well, work ethic. And we're not perfect either by no means, but they taught us the right ways. And that generation there, we're losing that generation. My mother's been dead for 5 years. My daddy's in an assisted living, so that's why we're going through his house. We got to put it up for sale, and got to have an estate sale and all that and sell everything, and that's hard. That's hard to do, man. But we found those pictures, we found a lot of pictures, my grandparents and my daddy when he was a baby and my mother when she was young, and we found a lot of pictures, and it really gets you emotional to see them back in them days and then what they've been through in life. And, a lot of them aren't here anymore. I don't have any of my grandparents here. None of them are here. My daddy's 91. So just the life they lived, the simplicity of their lives, simplicity of our lives coming up. We didn't have a lot, but we got provided for. And my daddy grew up during the Depression. But his military service is something that, really made me and my brother proud. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there that were in the military, and I wasn't, and it's kind of shameful, but, I guess God took me on a different path. I started working right out of school, but I've always had good work ethic and all, and I credit my parents for that. That generation, to me, is the greatest generation. My mom and daddy's generation and the generations before. The greatest generations. They loved this country. They loved America. They put their families first. They didn't have social media and none of this nonsense. They worked hard. They provided. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. That's a bad word now. Oh no, that's a bad word. My daddy, he never missed a football game. My mother didn't either. Football game, wrestling match, baseball game. My daddy took me hunting and fishing, stuff like that. But they gave us a safe home. They gave us a safe home, and taught us the right ways in life. Had us in church, taught us about God, talked to us about God. They taught us the right ways. And we were surrounded by my aunts and uncles and my grandparents too that were the same kind of people. And, they wasn't perfect. They had a lot of ups and downs. But my daddy's military service, that's just a big deal to me. And those pictures, I've never seen a lot of them, me or my brother. So I thought about that, and it really makes you just swell up with pride. It does me. It does me. Great generation, we're losing them. There's not very many left. All of my aunts and uncles are gone. My daddy's sister's gone. My mother's, all of her siblings are gone. My daddy's the last one. He's 91. He's the last one. And that's why I know it's so important for me to go visit with him several times a week at his assisted living. You know, even if I just stay an hour, hour and a half, you know, whatever. But I know it's important. He deserves it because he was a good dad. He taught us well. So we owe him that. We love him, but we also owe him that, to me. But even something as simple as a knife. You know, something as simple. Sorry. Is carrying this knife. Something this simple. I got that from my dad. Something as simple as a pocket knife. He bought me my first one, and I got the scar to prove it. I stabbed myself in the wrist with it, and he took it away from me. I was lucky it didn't do any damage. It bled. I had to go to the hospital. Pretty young. He bought it in a drugstore in Jacksonville, Florida. Because once he got raised, my grandparents moved. His mom and daddy moved to Jacksonville, Florida. And but my granddad ended up moving back here after my granny died. But you know, something as simple as a pocket knife, you know. And I want to pass that on. I want to pass that on to my grandson. I got 2 more grandsons on the way. I want to be a good grandfather, a good papa. You know, I feel like I was a good dad. You know, it's hard being a parent. You know, it's easier being a grandparent, trust me. But it's sad to look at pictures and look at through my mother and daddy's stuff, and you look at those old pictures back even when they were like babies on up, you know, to when they raised us, and a lot of pictures of me and my brother, you know. It's like that video, that short I put on there, that song In Color, guy singing it, and there's a lot of truth to that song. That generation was tough. That generation was real tough. I mean, my dad, my uncles and all, they were tough, man. I mean, they were tough as nails. My mother was tough as nails. They didn't put up with no mess. Yeah, they had bad stuff back then going on, but it's not like it is now, you know. They love this country. They love this country. And now we got people that don't love this country. It's sad. That's sad. When I see those military pictures, I think about, you know, the next generation coming up after the Gen Zers. You know, it's like, would they fight for this country? Would they go to the military and fight? I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. But anyway, I ain't gonna get off on that. But it was just a very emotional time, but it makes us proud. You know, makes us proud. So this is what my Monday morning talk's about. You know, just a little story about my dad and just what we found, what we saw, the pictures we saw. You know, and just makes you swell up with pride when you see them. But you can see that short. If you watch that short, you can see the pictures. Some of the pictures I got laying there on the table. I just, you know, videoed them. They're all my dad's in all of them. But God bless him. But I hope y'all have a great Monday, and I'm carrying this black Micarta 75 today with a arrowhead shield, satin finish, satin bolsters, satin blade. And for some reason, this one don't have a whole lot of snap on this main blade. See, it don't have a lot of snap on the clip point blade. It's got a pretty good bit of snap on the other 2 blades. But I like it. I still carry it. It's a great carry knife. I'm actually carrying it in a belt sheath. Carrying my pen. Got my Parker jotter. Carrying my buck 112. Got it going on today. Need to put a little oil on this thing. Got it today, and I got my soddy on me today. Got my chestnut bone soddy. I did get a new wallet. I'm gonna show. I've been carrying one of those Chums. I've carried a couple of them, but for some reason this one wore out quicker. I don't know. You know, it just kind of fell apart on me. So So I thought, well, I'm gonna upgrade, and I got me this Maxpedition. You know, I don't have a lot of stuff in it. I don't sit on it. I usually lay it in here while I'm driving, but this thing is very heavy duty. I mean, I love Maxpedition stuff. I've got a Maxpedition bag back here, and I've got a couple packs, but pouches and stuff. But this is a nice billfold. It's got a zipper in the back, and I carry my driver's license where I can get to it easy. You know, I carry that stuff. You know, carry a few charge cards that I use. Got my gun permit and all in here, and then of course this Velcro, it opens up, and then I got a few items in here. Got my gas cards and whatnot. Got my insurance cards here. Got them in here. You could put a little stash of money in there if you want to. But yeah, I got all that, and then it opens up. Got some cash right there. Got another little pouch in here, but it's a heavy duty. It's a heavy duty. I got my insurance, but it's a heavy duty billfold. It really is. I just wanted to step up a little bit and get something I know is going to last, because I've had Maxpedition stuff a lot over the years, and it's great stuff. When I went to Essie's, been to Essie's 5 classes, the survival classes, and the ditch medicine class, and the ones I went to, I always had a Maxpedition bag, and they take a good beating. It's good stuff, good quality stuff. If you've never tried Maxpedition products, and I'm not getting paid, I don't get paid by anybody. I don't get stuff sent to me as far as from companies, because that way I can tell you the truth about stuff. So I'll tell you the truth about Maxpedition. It's good stuff. It really is. I like to use it. I've got a couple backpacks I use. Got one I carry in my truck. So good stuff, man. They offer it in different colors. So yeah, man, it's good stuff. So I got it. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. Hope you enjoy this video. I'm up to 17 minutes. So this is Monday morning, my Monday morning inspiration talk. Y'all have a great day. Have a blessed day. God bless you. And remember our veterans, man. Remember our military people. They're so important. We need to support them. God bless.